John Orlando, U.S. Sales Manager for Plexus AV here at ISE 2025. I'm going to give you a tour of what we have going on in the booth.
So what does your company do?
So we are an AV over IP company, and we've developed a really high quality, super low latency product that uses IPMX as an open standard for video. So the benefit of using IPMX is it allows us to be interoperable with other vendors. And for a customer, it allows them to pick best of breed products instead of being stuck with one manufacturer.
Is it this device there?
Yeah, so this is our first product, is the PN4. It's a 4K60 PoE Plus powered transceiver. So it can be encode or decode mode. It's got a nice front panel display, and it also has USB routing as well as video. Dante included as well.
So it looks cool, and it could be where in the setup?
It could be in a rack, like we've got a rack over here. So we've got the ability to do 3 in 1 RU, so they're third RU size, or we can actually do 14 in this high density rack as well. And
14?
Yeah, 14 across.
So how you can combine all these? How do they work?
So they all connect on your network switch. It doesn't have to be any special switch. It's a 1 gig solution, so right now we're running it just on a 1 gig network switch.
And what do we see in the little display here?
So you have the ability to see if it's an encode or decode mode. You have the ability to change the name of the device, and then it shows the IP address. So if you were to type in that IP address, you could actually log into the local interface.
Because if you don't name them right, you get a little bit confused which is doing what.
Yeah, and so we also have a management and control platform called Visual Array, which is available in a mini PC size or in a server size as well. And that actually allows you to control everything and manage all your devices. I can show you on the display here too.
What's on the wall here?
So this is our newest product, and this is called Stream Conversion Gateway. What Stream Conversion Gateway does is it allows you to bring in other technologies that are IP streams. So for example, we have an SRT stream, an NDI camera, an NDI encoder, and RTSP camera, and you're able to bring those into your ecosystem and actually send them directly to our transceivers as an IPMX signal. You can also take our IPMX signal and convert it to any of these technologies. So it allows you to incorporate all these technologies into your space.
So you do the conversion with all these things, the codecs using 4 and 5?
Yep.
SRT,
so you could send to another area where you need like a bandwidth optimized situation, or over Wi-Fi or wireless or over the internet.
It automatically goes up and down with the bandwidth according to availability?
Yes.
And so for streaming on location or something like that?
Streaming to another location, or maybe you have like an NDI switcher or a device somewhere else that you want to bring in and send directly to a display instead of having to plug it into another encoder.
And can you show here a bit what's happened on the wall?
Definitely. So right here, we've got 2 demos going on here. So one of them is the Stream Conversion Gateway, like we just talked about.
Oh, secret password. Here's all the bunch of numbers.
This is just showing the quality of our codec. Because a lot of codecs, when you have content like this, the edges are blurry. This gives crystal clear image with the codec we're using. So this is Stream Conversion Gateway, and this is where you can actually take your different IP sources. So here's all those IP sources that I showed on the wall, and we're able to create routes and bring those into the visual array and bring them into the IPMX. And then this is visual array. So
what is this? What we just saw before? Is that a dashboard?
Yeah, there's 2 dashboards. So here's the dashboard for visual array. And it shows if all your devices are online and your network settings. And then this is really cool, is where you can see all the encoders that we have in the booth, and you're able to update them in batch. You can assign all the IP addresses, change the names, change the mode, and you can dive into all the individual settings on that device as well. If you wanted to, for example, change what codec you're using for different latencies, different quality, you can change all the settings. You've got a thumbnail view of what's going on that device. You can switch between the USB input or HDMI.
And it's all controlled on the web?
Yeah,
you log in remotely?
It's a web page that is running on the mini PC. And then here, we've got the AV matrix, which shows all my encoders here, decoders here, and allows me to actually switch what's on the display. So I can click and switch. And I can also expand this view, and you can see now that I'm able to route the USB or the video or the audio all independently. And I can see the thumbnail view as well.
It looks like a calendar, but it's visualization
so
of
these
the
are
inputs and
cross
outputs.
points, right?
Encoders, decoders.
Yeah. Now, one of the really cool things that we're showing this year as well is I've got my main video signal. So that's a high bandwidth, high quality JPEG XS signal that I would use, for example, in the room. But I have a secondary stream of compressed, and I can actually use that stream and send it elsewhere. So I can have one stream going that's high bandwidth in the room and a compressed stream going to another location that might need a bandwidth optimized solution.
All right. So it's really great, this IPMX solution, and you're totally providing in that ecosystem.
Yeah. IPMX allows you to just do so much. It allows you to work with other vendors, like I said, but it's also a future-proof solution. Because once you install, you're not going to have to rip out what you've installed if you want to get other products. You're going to be able to just expand that ecosystem.
And your company's been doing AV over IP for a long time?
Yeah, this is our third year, so we're basically a startup, but we're actually owned by a company called Sencor, which has been in the business for 70 plus years. So we like to say that we're like a startup with 70 years of experience.
Nice. And it's accelerating all this adoption of this kind of platform in the industry?
Yeah, the first trade show that I did, nobody knew what IPMX was. We spent most of the time just explaining what IPMX was.
That was just 3 years ago?
Yeah. And now it seems like people are educated about IPMX, and now they're coming to look and see what we can provide as a solution.
What is the engine, the software, or the hardware, SoC, the chipsets, do you say? How do you do it?
FPGA.
FPGA?
Yeah.
So it's very accelerated?
Yeah.
It might be, for example, an AMD or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And you can do 4K60.
Yeah.
Could you do even more?
Right now it's just 4K60 because this solution, we wanted it to be specifically a 1 gig solution.
Right.